Enchanted fam, Merry Christmas in July. Today's video is going to be a DIY Christmas edition. If you guys are brand new here, my name is Rita. I am celebrating Christmas in July all month of July because I absolutely love Christmas. If you are new here as well, I do post mostly Disney content with some lifestyle content mixed in, so I'm sure there'll be something for you to enjoy. We have a blast. We'd love for you to be part of this Enchanted fam. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, you guys. I love you. So this DIY video is actually a collaboration with two other very lovely ladies, Sariea over at DreamitDIY and Erika over at Erikadeocampo. I decided to host this collab. It's like the first collab I've ever hosted, and only because I really wanted to like make some ears because I've really been enjoying making ears, and these two ladies are also phenomenal at making ears, so I figured let's do a little collab together. So please head over to Sariea and Erika's channel to see their Christmas ears. You'll have tons of Christmas inspiration, so we want to see you make them. If you make any of our ears, please tag us because we want to see you recreate these and give your own little spin to them. So this is going to be a tutorial on these ears right over here, which I am loving. I just feel like they are very like traditional Christmas colors, the red and the green. I feel like it's very like classic Mickey. I've been having so much fun like using my Cricut to make like little designs on ears lately. So I just had a really fun time with this. So I definitely want to know your guys' opinion of what you think of them. I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much stop talking so you can enjoy the tutorial and see how I made these, and I will see you on the other side.
All right, you guys, so first step is you want to pick your fabric out. I got this from Joann's last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. I just love the design. Next up, you're going to cut it. So I actually created this like cutting fabric and sewing line kind of template on my Cricut machine. If you guys are interested in it, just let me know, DM me. I can probably send it to you. I don't know how exactly, but I'm sure there's a way. And what you'll need to insert is a pen, one of the pens in your Cricut, and then, you know, obviously the blade. And so it will actually draw the sewing line for you and then cut it as well. So it's kind of nice. It just makes life a little bit easier. I will tell you that when you are using this with your fabric, definitely choose the less pressure option, because if you use more pressure or the default pressure, sometimes the pen will like drag the fabric and it messes it up, which actually you will see in another clip. So as you saw in the first part, my template is actually for 2 ears at the same time, but because I'm using 2 different fabrics for each set of ears, I just decided to do 1 ear at a time just to make it a little bit simpler. So as you can see, it draws it and then it will cut it out. And then you can do this with the other side of the ears without the sewing line, since you only need one of the ears to have the sewing line for both the left and right. I hope that makes sense. So just showing you the nice clean cut it gives you. Then you're going to do the same thing with the next one. Because this one has a pattern, you do want to stick it to your sheet up like you know, backwards, so that way the pen marking is not on the front, like the right side of the fabric, it's on the back side of the fabric. And then I just kind of played around with it just to get like the placement of Mickey where I wanted it to be as it was drawing that sewing line, because that sewing line is more so what your ear is going to look like than the cutting line. The cutting line is actually larger. So here you're going to see the pen is slowly dragging the fabric, as you can see. So I do have a solution for this as well. And because sometimes even when you use less pressure, it still doesn't work. So I have transfer tape. You can get it anywhere. I got it actually at the Dollar Tree, which was kind of cool to find it at the Dollar Tree. And you can just, you know, cut out the size that you want. And then you are going to stick the transfer tape to your fabric you know, Cricut sheet. I can't think of what the name is called, but you know what I mean. It is going to be a little bit bubbly, I will say. It doesn't come out perfectly smooth, but for what we're using it for, it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be perfectly smoothed out. If you have like the tools to smooth it out, go for it. I just didn't have it, and I wasn't trying to get it perfect anyways. It's fine. And then you can stick your fabric on there, and let me tell you, it makes like a huge difference. Like, your fabric is not going anywhere. So I definitely like this method if you just have fabric that keeps trying to slide around. Once you do that, then you just go ahead and sew your ears. Pretty self-explanatory here. I just really like the sewing line because it just makes me sewing like so much easier. It's just a clear cut line. I know it's a perfect circle opposed to me trying to trace it from like a template. Then I do use just a template that I have to cut out the foam part that I will put in the ear. And I like this better just because it makes the ears more even opposed to stuffing it with batting. But you can totally stuff your ears with whatever you want. You can use foam, you can use, you know, batting, whatever you want to use. I just happen to use this because I like the way it kind of makes the ears. And then you fold it like a taco and you stuff your ears. Once you stuff your ears, you're then going to just shut them closed. I just use a glue gun and glue the bottoms closed. So you want to make sure that when you're gluing the fabric in to close them, that one of the fabric is glued very well to the actual foam piece you're putting in, because it just makes the fabric more sturdy once you glue it onto your headband. So you just want to make sure it's like glued to something. It's not just loose fabric glued to each other. I hope that makes sense. So there that is. And there are the ears glued shut like that. Once you have that done, I just quickly made my bow, just however big you want it. I play around with my bow size, to be honest. I haven't found a perfect size I want just yet, but you can hot glue this or sew it shut just like this way. Make sure you leave a little opening so you can stuff your bow for a little bit of volume, unless you don't want to stuff it. I actually ended up using the netting that was like attached to the fabric to stuff the ear with. I'm sorry, the bow with, because the sequence is a little bit see-through, so I feel like you can kind of see the white. So the green like netting was like perfect, so it still just made the bow very green. And then you can just hot glue or sew your little hole that you made shut. I do like to tuck the fabric in a bit to like make it look like a closed seam. So it just comes out kind of nice that way. And this is how the bow came out. Next, you're going to want to get whatever headband you want to use. I did cover mine with the same red fabric as one of the ears, but you can buy a red headband if you like. Make sure you put that lining inside the ear. For this video purpose, I just didn't. And then you're going to want to kind of map out where you want your ears and bow to be. I actually use a tape measure and I measure on both sides to make sure they're exactly in the same spot so it looks centered. I was just kind of showing you here for reference how it was going to look. And with a snap of a finger, you're gonna have your ears perfectly put together. There they are. So that's how that looked. And then now's the fun part with your Cricut. You can put whatever words or whatever you'd like. I wrote out Merry Christmas in this white glittery foam, and I had my Cricut cut that out. And then the fun part is, spoiler alert, not so fun part is peeling all of the letters out. So with foam, it looks like it doesn't cut it, but really you just have to kind of pull it apart a bit and it is cut. It just doesn't make a cut all the way through like with paper or with fabric. That's something that I kind of learned. But don't be afraid to kind of pull a little. Foam doesn't like rip very easily. And then basically you're just gonna kind of, you know, place where you want the letters to be and start hot gluing the letters. This was probably the hardest part, you guys, just because the letters are so small. The Merry was actually bigger font than the Christmas, so it wasn't as hard, but the Christmas, like the word Christmas, was smaller font, and I had to use tweezers. So, and I have like kind of like bigger fingers, so it's just harder for me to hold these tiny little letters. So this was a little bit tedious, but I think well worth it because I just really love how these ears came out. I did want to add maybe a little bit of like holly berries to the bow since it's green and the hollies are like red, and make them like a Mickey ears. But I just decided to hold off at this moment, but you can totally customize these and add pretty much anything you want to them.
Alright you guys, that does it for this ear tutorial. I really hope you enjoy it. I hope that I gave you maybe some tips or tricks that you didn't think of. If there are any tips or tricks or advice that you want to give me, please leave them in the comments down below, because I can always learn more. I am still learning, you know, my Cricut, sewing, making ears, all of that. So I can definitely use all the advice that you guys will give me. Once again, please do not forget to check out both Sariea and Erika. Check out their ears that they make. I'm sure they did an amazing job. Those ladies are also very talented. And once again, if you create any of our ears, please tag us. Thank you so much once again, you guys. I love you, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!